Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to clean and condition your leather work boots. I've got a pair of Ariat right here. They also happen to be our sponsor for today's video. I love these boots. I've been wearing them a long time, and I'm going to show you how to clean them and get them ready for the work. All right, so I put a lot of time in these work boots over the last couple of weeks. Step one, always remove the laces. The reason we remove the laces is so we can get in to all the creases around the leather and make sure that we get the whole thing conditioned and ready. As you can see, I got a lot of sand on where I work, and if we don't get rid of that and we relace our boots up, it's going to stress right here, and it's going to start breaking down the leather and all the stitching. All right, once we've got the laces removed, we need to go over this again with a stiff brush. So I'm using just this brush from my house. We need to get as much of the excess dirt and crap off these boots so we can get them ready for the next step. Take time to get around the welt and get around where all that stitching is. We want all that sand, dirt, and debris out. You can see a lot's coming off already. Get inside the tongue area. All right, you can see we got rid of a ton of debris, sand, and dirt off these boots, so we can move on to the next step, which is getting them ready for saddle soap. So I'm using just a generic saddle soap here. I see a lot of people have questions about when to saddle soap and when not to, so I'll kind of go through it as I'm doing it. When you saddle soap, you don't want to leave it on there very long. Even though it does kind of help condition the leather, it also, in a way, extracts a lot of the natural oils off. So you want to lather it up, get it on, and then remove it quickly. I'm making sure that I get all over the boot itself. And you don't have to saddle soap every time. It's only if you've got a bunch of oils and your boots are super dirty. Otherwise, you could just skip to the next step. I'm making sure I get in all the gussets here. I'm making sure that I get all around the welt. I'm making sure that I also get inside this area right here where the tongue is. Okay, that's pretty good. Next step is just to simply wipe it off with a cloth or a rag. You don't have to run it under water. And even from this step, you're going to notice a big difference. I'll bring in the other shoe here in a second. Why you don't leave saddle soap on there, why you don't have to use saddle soap all the time are questions I get a lot. You have to remember that this boot is all leather. And leather was originally a living animal. And it's just like your skin. So if you continually just put soap, really harsh detergents on your skin, and you don't put any nutrients back in, it's just going to dry it out and shorten the life of that once living piece of leather. So we've gotten most of it out. I'm just going to show you a quick comparison so you can see so far what the difference is, just by doing a quick clean like that. Pretty cool, okay? So next step is to get a horsehair brush, and we're going to try to just get off the rest of the saddle soap that we might have missed with our rag. Cool, done. Okay, Now to condition that leather. We've got it prepped, we've got it clean. Now we got to put nutrients back into this leather to keep it strong. So I'm going to be using Obenauf's today. This is a really cool product. It's a wax-based conditioner protector. And if you haven't heard of it, go check it out. I think it's awesome. It smells good too. It's all natural. And it comes in this like paste form like this, if you've never seen it, almost like a wax. And the heat of your fingers, when you rub it in there like that, turns it more into a liquid, and then you can apply it. This stuff's actually pretty cool. It was developed by a firefighter for their work boots when they were fighting forest fires in the Pacific Northwest. And I like it because it's all natural. And you're simply going to apply this to all the boot. A little bit goes a long way. I will say that this stuff does darken the leather. But if you're wearing work boots and you're concerned about if it darkens it or a shade or two, you have other things to worry about. And you're going to see it start soaking in here. It absorbs into the leather. I'm going to show you a couple of key spots here in a second once I get done with the side here. But you can see you just use your fingers to rub it in. This is going to help your boots be more weather resistant. It's going to help them last longer. It's going to help them be more pliable. So some areas that you want to look at specifically are right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Where that stitching is connected to the boot. That wears out really, really quick. Also, where does your foot normally bend? Right there, like that. This spot right here is where you need to take the most care, because whenever you see boots or you've got old pairs of boots and they've dried out or rotted right there, it's because you didn't care enough for this section of the boot where all the movement happens. I'm going to go up the entire side of the boot on the inside right here as well, and the outside. There's other products you can use too. Today's I'm just using Obenauf's, but you could use mink oil. You could use oil itself. The biggest difference between oils and a paste like this is that oils are good for in-between treatments. So the next time I need to condition these boots, I might not have to strip it all the way down with saddle soap and put this back on. Instead, I could just go to a liquid conditioner or an oil just to get some more nutrients in until it really has to be cleaned again. Next, we're going to work on the tongue. The tongue is really important because most people want this as soft as possible. Because when you close your boot back up again, this is the part that's rubbing against the laces. So it can hurt your feet if it's really hard and brittle. Also, those laces are rubbing back and forth there, and they can wear out that leather really quick. So you want this to last as long as possible. So don't forget about that. I'll show you something cool about the Ariat boots here in a second as well that we have to condition. And you may not be able to see it on camera. The inside of the boot has something called a heel cap that your heel rests on. That's that hard piece right here. The heel cap in these boots is actually leather, real leather. So if you want, you could actually condition this as well and put a little bit on there. You don't have to put a lot, but that's kind of cool. A special addition that they put into their boots that I really like. Okay, conditioned. I'm just going to put a little bit more on the front since it's soaked in so much. I'm also making sure to get this part right here, and then we'll do the welt in a second. This is the part that's open to the air, and it's going to soak that in really fast. Next, and arguably the second most important spot that you want to do, is if you've got a Goodyear welted boot or stitching on the outside, you want that to be waxed as well. You can see I'm just running it along there. You could get a toothbrush if you want. And again, this is all natural, so it's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is, number one, keep out the environment better, and two, keep that string waxed, and so it's more water resistant. Because let's face it, if you're getting into water, it's coming in this way first. So we need to take care of this entire section right here. That looks pretty dang good. Okay. Not too bad so far. Next, we let it sit for just a second. So while that's drying and soaking into the leather, I get questions about how do you clean this wedge sole. So this is a wedge sole. You can actually clean it. Personally, I like my boots to kind of look a little bit used, but here's a real quick tip. Just get one of those magic erasers, and you can just clean it using this and get it back to more of the natural color. Again, you can kind of see before and after. All right, we've just got done cleaning up the wedge sole. Went pretty quick, it only took a minute or two. And while that was happening, this was all soaking back in. All the nutrients was soaking back into the shoe. So we can move on to the next step. And that's simply getting the horsehair brush again and brushing some of that wax into the spots that it might have been missed. Again, these are going right back out into the field. I'm going to put them on as soon as we get done here again, and they're going right back to work. So just getting any of the excess wax off, and then making sure that you can hit any of the areas that were missed. And that's it. That boot's done. You can apply more layers of that wax to it as needed, but for now, that looks really good to me. Let's lace it back up, and then we'll show you what it looks like at the end. All right, that one's done. Let's get to the next shoe. There's an old saying, you're either on your feet or you're sleeping. So the two most important things you can buy is a good bed and a good pair of boots, and take care of them. All right, these boots are done. I'm ready to put them back on my feet because I got a bunch more work to do. Hey, special thanks again to Ariat for sponsoring this video. These boots rock. If you want to learn more about Ariat, go check them out in the links that I'll post below. And then make sure you comment below if you've got any questions, comments, concerns about how to care for your leather work boots. I'm sure there's more people out there that know more than me. Let's talk about it below. Thanks.